dieting is big business. The diet industry has more than doubled since the 90s, and in 2020, it topped $71 billion. Each year, some 45 million people in the United States go on weight loss programs, and 95% of them fail. And yet, millions of us open our wallets to try the latest trendy diets, cleanses, and low-calorie meal plans to cut down the pounds.
I spent thousands. I spent thousands of dollars.
I've probably spent $1,000.
I would say I spent over $3,000.
Probably upwards of at least past $10,000.
Thousands of dollars on weight loss supplements, meal plans.
And with the rise of social media, there's even more pressure to obtain seemingly impossible beauty standards for men and women.
Negative body image does not live in fat cells.
Here's how dieting grew into a $71 billion industry, even though an overwhelming majority of diets fail, and being smaller doesn't necessarily mean healthier. This is Suddenly Obsessed. When it comes to diets, there is no shortage of options. From tailored meal plans like Slim Fast and Nutrisystem to support groups like Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers. Then there's high-fat, no-carb, no-gluten models like Keto and Paleo. And with the rise in technology, companies are now using consumer data and AI to tailor customized plans to individual needs.
With the personalization capabilities that we have, powered by AI, machine learning, etc., we can match you with a program that is specific to you and ultimately greater weight loss.
But all of these diets have one thing in common: restriction. Consuming fewer calories is a common way to lose weight.
And what that means is that you're having to ignore your body's signals and your body's cues of what it needs. And so diets end up impacting how you think as well.
And those powerful signals, not a lack of willpower, are why so many diets fail. Which may help explain how the Atkins diet became a $3 billion empire since its founding in the 1960s. Robert Atkins spent decades researching the impact of a low-carb, low-sugar diet on weight loss. The low-carb diet became one of the most popular restrictive eating programs in America because it left a lot of food options on the table.
We re-educate people on the types of carbohydrates that have the least impact on their blood sugar and coach them on how to reintroduce those carbohydrates into their diet. The more strict you are with carbohydrate restriction, the more effective it will be for weight loss.
My husband and I have been on this weight loss journey since May of 2017. I've lost 85 pounds and my husband has lost over 100 pounds.
We're really focused on using the science to back up any type of claims we make, whether it's on optimal protein intake, healthy fats, the types of carbohydrates that we encourage people to eat.
But health officials warn that low-carb, high-protein diets can have negative effects, saying it can lead to joint pain, gout, osteoporosis, and kidney stones. Atkins uses a subscription-free model while providing nutrition education and online resources at no cost. However, the company spends hundreds of millions of dollars annually marketing its line of branded pre-packaged foods. The diet has an incredibly loyal following.
I have lost 85 pounds with the Atkins lifestyle, and I've been able to keep it off since 2018, so almost 3 years now.
I lost 100 pounds and I've been able to keep it off for almost 15 years now.
Today, Atkins has over 500,000 registrants and relies heavily on word of mouth to increase awareness. For every person who experiences weight loss, 1 million will sign up.
Atkins makes me feel like I can face anything.
And because Atkins uses a model with no initiation fees and free online resources, more people are enticed to try a plan. But calling Atkins free doesn't sit well with some mental health professionals.
The concept that some of these programs are free is really silly. Diets like Atkins, they have a lot of product. So while they're relatively low cost, they also have their own food and a ton of marketing. There's product, but there's also lifestyle. This convinced people that if diets fail, it is because of the dieter.
Case in point, Atkins self-reported spending around $530 million on marketing and advertising its line of foods in 2020.
We allow people to experience the joy food brings to us every day.
Alternative weight loss products like shakes, cleanses, and meal supplements are a $5 billion industry, even though there are doubts about their safety and effectiveness. Shockingly, those products do not require FDA regulation to be sold to consumers, which means that there is no way to tell what's really in them.
There's no scientific data Some people might experience side effects. Some people may experience really dangerous consequences. So it's always wise just not to take it.
One of the supplements I did take was something called Craze. Craze is a kind of like energy supplement that was actually banned by the military because one of the chemical components of it was very similar to methamphetamines.
I've also tried a diet that involved hormones, eating 500 calories a day.
A diet called the First Fitness Suddenly Slim program, which included taking pills.
I was in the shower and then all of a sudden everything whited out.
The substance I think is now banned in America. I did lose 30 pounds in 30 days with that and instantly gained it all back.
Prolonged use of laxatives can cause digestive issues, throw off your electrolyte balance, and cause dehydration.
The FDA has approved just 5 weight loss supplements on the market, leaving hundreds of thousands entirely unregulated. The FDA publicly warns about the dangers of hidden active ingredients and claims of exaggerated results in a short span of time.
From dietary supplements to the latest diet schemes, weight loss fraud is in the air, on the airwaves, and online.
I don't think the average person has a good sense of what the lasting consequences could be. And even if they do have a sense of those consequences, they tend to view being overweight or not fitting into the ideal body standard as being more harmful or more difficult to deal with. And so they're willing to take that risk.
The more drastic the diet, the more likely it is to fail. Many people with a lifelong struggle with their weight go through periods of rapid weight shed when starting a new diet, but then gain the weight back over time.
I once fasted for 8 days straight without food and only water. Once the fast was over, within like a month, I went from my original weight plus 10 to 15 pounds.
Experts say one fundamental reason why diets don't work is because of a disconnect between what the mind wants and the body needs.
So while your mind is able to say this is just a diet, the body believes that you don't have access to enough food. It believes you're in the middle of a famine, that you need to hurry up and find food in order to survive.
When someone fails to stick to a drastic diet that dramatically reduces their calorie intake, they may find themselves binge eating to compensate.
And so it will begin a set of physiological responses geared towards pushing you to eat more. You will start thinking about food more often, obsessing about food more often.
I took one bite of the lasagna. By the end of the night, I had a half a pan of lasagna. It was like, as soon as I had that one piece of carb, I couldn't stop having carbs. I ate all carbs in any form.
And studies have shown that frequent dieting, the cycles of repeated restriction, then binge eating, can lead to eating disorders like anorexia and bulimia.
A study done in 1995 showed that 35% of occasional dieters turned into pathological dieting, which is what we kind of now call disordered eating. And from there, as many as 30 to 45% advanced into full-blown eating disorders.
It's been proven that an intense focus on dieting is one of the biggest predictors for developing an eating disorder, which brings in the role of prioritizing mental health. Which is why a millennial-oriented weight loss program called Noom is taking a mental health approach to weight loss. In 2019, Noom generated over $200 million in revenue and is expecting to double that figure in 2021.
More than 60% of Noomers lose more than 5% of body weight. We've had millions of people who have used Noom in the past, and we're continuing to grow. For less than the price of a cup of coffee a day, you'll have a powerful tool working for you.
Noom has a flexible subscription plan, ranging from $59 per month or a longer commitment of $199 per year. It uses surveys and artificial intelligence to tailor its database of nutrition education, goal setting, and health coaching tools to individual user needs. Each person is then given weight loss related tasks to help them on their journey, which can be as simple as reading a specific article. And then they have guides of color-coded systems of food calorie trackers to stay in alignment with long and short-term goals and results.
There are little things to do every day, and that's what the AI and the coach have chosen. It's different every day, and that's one of the things that we hear is that variety keeps it fresh.
Noom then pairs you with 2 coaches to keep you accountable and motivated.
One is a goal specialist, and the other one is your group coach who can answer some of the more technical things. And you also have a group of people going through the app at a similar pace as you in a similar time frame. It's kind of like having a workout companion or a nutritional expert just on my shoulder.
What Noom actually does is help you work with the psychology behind that to change the way you think. And we do that through a combination of human coaching and AI to then help you understand yourself and then meet those health goals.
Early on, they show you. They're like, look, diets don't work. These are the studies.
Diets don't work, but it's not you, it's the approach.
That's why we are not presenting you with a diet. What we present is behavioral modification.
Noom is different. We're the behavior change company.
I started around 220, 225. I'm now 195. So I lost 25, 30 pounds.
At my heaviest, I was 231 pounds, and at my lightest, I lost 80 pounds with Noom.
But even Noom's modernized approach to bridging the body-mind gap can't escape the negative psychological factors associated with calorie restriction.
It could still lead to obsession because you're still calorie counting and you're still really hyper-focused on food all the time.
It color categorizes foods, you count calories, you track your food, and the reality is it is just a diet like any other diet.
If we're reducing the number of calories that we're eating and we're not seeing success, I can imagine the frustration and getting super upset and fixated on it.
No doubt the widespread use of social media has been a boon to the weight loss industry. But over the past decade, a new wave of thinking about weight loss has made its way into the social stratosphere: body positivity.
It is making a big impact on exposing people to more body types and broader views of what it means to be beautiful.
Perhaps the most effective way to lose weight doesn't require an app or an expensive meal plan. Food author Michael Pollan said it best: eat food, not too much, mostly plants. Or how about this? Do what makes your mind and your body feel good.